Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm not here to waste anyone's time, so I'm going to get right into it. This is the first episode of an entire series on nutrition and dieting, and we're going to start off by going over some guidelines on how to create your own diet plan for cutting and getting leaned out. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is the game changer. It's cooking your own food. The power you have with cooking your own food is the ability to control exactly what goes in it. Cooking at home automatically leads you to eat healthier, and the reason for that is because you pick your own ingredients, how much you use, and also has a lot to do with avoiding all the bullshit additives and preservatives that processed and packaged foods have. Fast food definitely has to go, but someone might be asking, oh, but what about diet snacks and diet soda? Fucking kidding me? This is all about eating with a purpose and intention. If you want it, fucking get it. Don't half-ass it by looking for diet alternatives because your ass is used to eating a bowl of ice cream every night. I mean, you're looking for loopholes, and that's already the wrong mindset to begin with. I mean, all right, we all want our cheat days or cheat meals, but that's totally different from drinking 3 cans of Diet Coke every day. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to work. We're not just trying to lose weight here. Remember that. We're on a mission to get shredded, like single-digit body fat percent shredded. And just getting rid of fast food and snacks isn't gonna work. Ever watch those survival shows on TV? People on there are losing 10, 20 pounds in just 3 weeks. But the thing is, we don't want to be skinny. Our goal is to lose fat while keeping as much muscle as possible. And there's a difference. There's a difference between skinny and fucking shredded. So let's go over the basics. Maintenance calories are the amount of calories you need to maintain where your body is at right now. So let's call that our baseline. Anything higher than your baseline is your calorie surplus, and anything lower is your calorie deficit. Calorie surplus, you're gonna gain weight. Calorie deficit, you're gonna lose weight. So the next question would be then, how do I figure out my calorie deficit? Well, first thing you need to do is figure out your baseline. You need to figure out what your maintenance calories are first. So if you've never done this type of diet before, or this shredding or cutting phase, you probably have no idea what your maintenance calories are. So that leads us to step 1. If you need to get an idea of what your maintenance calories are, there are different ways you can do this. And the simplest way is to go online and use a calorie calculator. Just search Google and you'll find a ton of them. They just ask you some general questions and basic questions to give you an estimate. Now keep in mind it's an estimate. However, it's something you can start off with. As you go along, you're gonna have to require some adjustment and tweaking, but I'll get into that a little later. For our example today, let's say your baseline calorie is 2,500. Step 2, calculate your calorie deficit. I'll go into the details in a future episode, but science says that if you're on a 500 calorie deficit every day, that means you'll be losing about a pound a week, which is a pretty healthy and recommended rate. So subtract 500 from your baseline. That leaves us with 2,000 calories a day. Let's do protein first. A good rule of thumb is if you're bodybuilding, you want about 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of your weight. Now, experts advise that the weight should be the weight of your lean mass, not your overall weight. But for us, like you and me, using our overall weight is just fine. So another way to look at it is to get 45% of your total calories from proteins. So for example, 45% of 2,000 calories is 900 calories. Since there are 4 calories in 1 gram of protein, divide 900 by 4, that's 225 grams of protein. For carbs, a good starting point will be getting approximately 40% of your total calories from them. So 44% of 2,000 calories is 800 calories. Since carbs also have 4 calories per gram, you do the same math as with protein. 800 calories divided by 4, equals 200 grams of carbs. And now for fat, that leaves us with 15% of 2,000 total calories, or 300 calories. Since there are 9 calories per gram of fat, you'll be eating about 33 grams of fat. Figuring out our macro ratios are crucial when we're bodybuilding. Now with the example above, 15% of total calories for fat may possibly be on the low end for some people, but that's what works for me. Adjust the percentages as you have to, because the ones like carbs and fats have a very significant impact on how you feel, your ability to focus, energy levels, and how you perform. And no, man, I ain't talking about performance at the gym. I'm talking about performance. You need fat because you need fat to do things like help with absorbing nutrients and producing hormones. Not having enough fat for a long period of time does weird things to you, from your mood to your brain and focusing, and yeah, even stuff like sex drive. It's like you can't get that shit up, you know? Protein, always keep it high. That's going to be your anabolic ingredient for muscle growth and strength. So definitely keep an eye on your protein intake. There's a lot more I need to discuss on this topic, but I know how we all are these days, and you and I have the attention span of a fucking goldfish. So I purposely made this as concise as possible and ending this discussion at a good stopping point. The next episode, I'll go over what to do when your calculations for your diet plan isn't working out the way you had hoped, going to specific details on each of the macros, how to tweak your macro ratios to get the most out of every gram, and a whole bunch of other things. Well, thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you have any questions.